Welcome back to another Millennial in Debt video. If you are not subscribed, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and turn on the notifications so you get a ding every single time I upload a video. There's like a bird doing something. Sorry. I am standing. I really wanted to do like a really cool bouquet, like up close and personal and fade the background, but I also didn't want you like all up in my grill. So this is what you're gonna get. This is the best we could do, but I am standing. It takes me back to the like times when I was filming at my parents' house, but you don't care about any of that. You are here to talk about the student loan repayment plans. Did you know there were 8 of them? Because I surely did not, and now that I do, I'm going to share the information with you. So through this entire video, how I'm going to deliver the information to you. So I'm going to tell you the name of the repayment plan, the loans that qualify for that particular repayment plan, and the amount of months or years that this repayment plan is going to take you, and what the price will look like, or what the payment will look like based off of your like loan balance. Let's get right into it. So the standard repayment plan is the repayment plan that we are all accustomed to. It's the one that they usually force down our throats when we first finish our grace period, and it's usually the highest amount of money that they want from you. I remember my standard loan repayment plan was almost $1,300 a month when I just graduated from college, and I was making like $1,300 a month. So that was no. The standard repayment plan usually puts you on a 10-year repayment plan. You pay monthly, and that is where you pay more interest up front, but as your loan decreases, obviously you pay more towards the principal. So if you notice that your student loan repayment plan is really high, that is because it's a 10-year process, right? So the loans that qualify for the standard repayment plan are the direct, subsidized, and unsubsidized loans. FFEL, right? Direct loan, all plus loans, which are your parent loans, the loans that your parents take out for you, and your federal Stafford loans. I don't know why I could remember all of those loans. It's so many letters, right? But all of those loans fall under the category of being qualified to use the standard repayment plan. The second repayment plan is the graduated repayment plan. This was the repayment plan that I was on for the majority of my time paying back my student loans. The graduated repayment plan also qualifies all the loans I mentioned before. So how your graduated repayment plan works, similar to how a standard repayment plan works, they will put you on a 10-year time frame. Initially, some of them, because one of my loans was on a 30-year time frame, and that's a dub, right? So they start off lower than the standard payment plan, and every 2 years they graduate or gradually rise to a higher cost, and that is usually what will keep some of you on a 10-year plan. Sometimes it shifts to 15. On a consolidated loan, I know most of the time that's going to go to 30 years. So you definitely want to make sure when you're making these payments that you know when your end date is, because if it's 30 years down the line, you might want to, figure out something else that you could do. The third type of loan repayment plan is the extended repayment plan. One of my loans was also put on this extended loan repayment plan. I don't Sally Mae, girl, I don't know what you're doing. Now, what an extended repayment plan is, they usually, for the most part, will start you off at a 25-year repayment. Sometimes it's 30, most of the time it's 25, and this puts you at a lower monthly payment, but you are paying far more in interest over the course of the loan, and more of your payment, even though it's lower, more of your payment is going towards interest, as opposed to more of your payment going towards your principal, which is the amount of money that you actually borrowed. Now, the type of loans that qualify for this repayment plan are your direct, subsidized, and unsubsidized loans, your direct and your unsubsidized and subsidized Stafford loans, all Parent Plus loans, and all of your consolidated loans, so all of the direct FFEL loans. If you don't know any of these things that I'm talking about, there is a video that I recorded, and I'll link it right here, I think like 2 years ago, that walks you through the ABCs of student loans, on things you need to know about consolidation, about the interest rate that you're being charged, all these types of things. So if you're lost on this particular video, head over to this video to give you a little refresher or catch you up on what it is that I'm talking about. The next repayment plan option that is offered to you with your federal loans is, sorry, all this sun started shifting, so I had to do some things, but let's keep going, right? The next student loan repayment option is Repay. That is essentially the acronym. Revised Pay-As-You-Earn Repayment Plan. boom, repay. Now, repay gets a little tricky with what they expect from you or how the repayment works. They also do not cover as many of the types of loans that I mentioned in the previous payment options. So the Stafford loan is not covered under this payment plan. Direct subsidized and unsubsidized loans still are. Direct direct plus loans that went directly to students do qualify. And direct consolidation loans or that went to parents also qualify. It's really strange how whatever. Sallie Mae, you do what you want to do. Or federal loan company, you do what you want to do. This repayment plan also has to be reviewed every single year. They review your income and your family size because they take 10% of your discretionary income. So every year you have to reapply essentially in order for you to continue to qualify. Now, if you are married, they do take in the your spouse's income as well as their debt. All of that comes together when they look at what your payment will be. So it's very important for you to make sure that when you reapply that you're giving all the actual numbers because they're not playing with this repayment plan. It's very, very difficult to make sure that you continue to achieve it. And with this type of payment plan, obviously your payment is very low. So you're expected to pay this off in 20 years if it's only loans from undergrad, and in 25 years if you do have some graduate loans a part of your student loan debt. 25 years is a lot. But if you do have discretionary income that is not as high as, let's say, if you were on a standardized payment, it is something that you may want to look into because it makes life more bearable, life more livable. Living with debt is very difficult. So this is an option that works really well if you come from a low income family or you are not really making as much money as you'd like to currently in your current financial life. Right? So the next repayment plan is called PAYE, different than the revised one. And PAYE stands for, and let me get this one right, Pay As You Earn Repayment Plan. Now, the Pay As You Earn plan allows the same loans from the repay plan, the revised plan. So that again is your direct subsidized and unsubsidized loans, direct plus loans made directly to students, and direct consolidation loans that do not include plus or FFEL that went to the parent. So those are the only three types of loans that qualify for the pay option. Now, what I like a little more about this plan is that yes, it is 10% of your discretionary income, just like the repay option, but you will never pay more than what you would have paid on a 10-year standard repayment plan. This also has the 20-year payment plan. What I like about this plan and the repay plan is if you do not finish paying off the debt within that 20-year time frame, or in 25 years if you have grad loans a part of your student loan debt, then the rest will be forgiven. Like I said, 20 and 25 years is a lot of time, but at least you know that, okay, I did the best I could in these 20 years on this payment plan, and if I still have loan debt left, I won't have to worry about it. Silver linings. All right, so now we're moving into number 7, the income-based repayment plan. Now, this one is the one that a lot of people talk about or a lot of people know about. I was on the income-based repayment plan for the first year and a half of my loan repayment life, and because I started making too much money, according to the government, they kicked me off and put me on a different repayment plan, which is fine, right? So the income-based repayment plan, much like the repay and pay program, you have to update or you have to kind of reapply every single year. And the amount that you pay is based off of your income and your family size. They usually take 10 to 15% of your discretionary income based off of when you took your loans. So everything is like down to if you took it in 2007 versus if you took it in 2008. So all of those things come into play. The repayment plan, similar. If you do not pay off by the end of 20 years, so you're on a 20-year time frame with that plan, they will forgive the balance after 20 years. And depending on when you took it, it could be 25 years as well. Now, what you want to keep in mind, the loans that qualify for this are the Stafford loan, back in business with this loan repayment plan, your direct subsidized and unsubsidized loans, your FFEL, your all plus loans, and your all consolidated loans. So all of those will fall under your income-based repayment plan. The next repayment plan is the income contingent, right? So the ICR income contingent repayment plan, which is a little different, well, very different from the IBR. The ICR is a little different. It could lend you to paying a bit more than if you were on the IBR or the repay or the pay plan. Now, what the ICR, you're either paying 20% of your income, your discretionary income, or what your standard payment would be on a 12-year payment plan. That is based off of what the amount of loans that you have, and they will make you pay the lesser. So if it's 20% is less than what you would pay on a 12-year standard payment, then you would pay that one. You do have to renew every single year based off your loan amount, based off of your family size, and based off of your income. The loans that qualify, so Stafford is out on this one. It's all direct plus loans paid to students, all consolidated loans, and your direct subsidized and unsubsidized loans qualify for this. This repayment plan is a 25-year repayment plan, and anything that is not paid off by the end of the 25 years will be forgiven. So this is another long haul repayment option. And the last repayment option is the ISR, the income sensitive repayment plan. It's so many acronyms, so difficult, right? So the ISR is also has slight variations and differences from the IBR and the ICR and the repay and the pay. So this loan repayment plan does not cover your direct subsidized and unsubsidized loans. It covers your Stafford loans, both subsidized or unsubsidized, your FFEL loans, and your FFEL consolidated loans. This is on a 15-year time payment, so it's 10 years less than the other repayment options, but it is 5 years more than the standard repayment option. So that's something you want to keep in mind, because you'll pay more interest, or you'll pay more money towards the loan the longer the loan exists, right? The longer the life of the loan exists, the more interest or the more money you'll end up paying. This one is pretty clear and straight to the point. The payment is based off of your income, and you pay it off in 15 years. That's pretty much it. Now, how you would want to go about choosing which loan repayment option you need to be on is based on so many different things. Obviously, you're going to want to look at what the monthly payment is going to be and what you can afford, right? So if one option is giving the lowest monthly payment and it qualifies the loans that you have that you have in existence, that may be something you want to choose. Or if you're looking at how long you're going to pay the loan, right? So if you don't want to pay your loans for 25 to 30 years, you might look at the ISR for the 15-year. Or if you want to just get 10 years and be done, you might want to go on the standard repayment plan. It's really all based off of your income, based off of your family size, based off your family situation, based off of your employment situation. But what's really, really, really important, and I say this everywhere all the time, do not run from Sallie Mae. Do not run from the federal government, because they'll catch you, right? You need to run towards it, call them, find out what are your options, where do your loans qualify, what plan is going to work most or best for your life, and how much you're going to pay by the end of your repayment life, right? That is really the only way that you can make the decision. There's nothing on the internet. There's no one on Instagram that can make the decision for you. You have to decide what is going to work best for your life. And I'm out. Bye.